Okay, so more Warframe and more Chroma, our master of elements. So as I stated before, Chroma has become my go-to frame. He has so many different ways that you can mod him or run him, or different setups. Whatever your element of choice may be, he is without a doubt a very unique Warframe. So my last video on Chroma centered around his ice build and how tanky he could be and how much survivability you could get with him. Now to test this, I ran a solo Tower 4 survival run and gun style to see how much damage he could soak up and how well he could survive, and I ran to 40 minutes with relative ease, but I did stop at 40 due to enemies becoming basically bullet sponges, and I had no corrosive projections to aid me in putting them down, so I ended up burning through a few ammo resupplies, which I didn't really want to be doing. Now in this video I decided to move away from the ice build, and I'm going to show you how I've modded him for his electric element, and I like to think of this build as being my shock trooper build. Now I took Chroma on Palace, or Phallus, shy if that's going to keep you happy, or on Pluto, which is a survival mission with enemies that start off between level 33 and 38. Now the reason I'm using survivals to check Chroma out is quite simple. You get a constant stream of enemies which increase in level and they do a lot more damage as time goes by, and I find that to be a really good way to test how much damage he can throw out and take. But maybe that is just me, and maybe you guys have different ways of testing your frames out. So with regards to my build, before I show you it, just let me say that I've modded with Vex Armor and Elemental Ward in mind. Again, like my ice build, because I really enjoy being able to survive as much as possible. I very rarely use Effigy, and even then I only use it when I need to activate a life support module or maybe revive someone because of the initial stun that you get once you cast it. So with Electric, Elemental Ward will increase your shield of your Warframe, and it will also absorb incoming damage before releasing that damage in an arc of lightning onto enemies around Chroma. This thing does a lot of damage, and I was one-shotting enemies up to level 40 and beyond with the lightning bolt. It's also affected by power range, so if you've got a stretch mod on, then the bolt will reach enemies a further distance away, but I found that its normal range was more than enough for me. So as for the build, for survivability I've gone for max redirection, steel fibre and vitality. For duration I've gone for prime continuity, which is 2 from the top, and I don't have enough cores to put it up the last level. I'm not going to put up the final one because I find that to be a waste of cores. Prime flow is also 2 from the top for the same reason, and instead of intensify I've gone for blind rage, and streamline is there to reduce the energy cost that blind rage gives you. Now you could use intensify or even a stretch mod like I said if you wanted. This is just my own personal build, and I found that with blind rage I was getting a lot bigger hits with the lightning bolts than I was getting with intensify. So like I said, personal build, and I kind of hate having to keep repeating saying that this is a personal build, but lately with videos it's kind of become a bit of a necessity because of private messages you get or abuse that you might get. So I'm sure there's a chance that you guys have modded your Chroma completely different but are still loving him as much as I am loving my Chroma. So when running Palace, not only was the lightning bolts killing things really fast, but also once I came to the higher level and the Xmas started coming, then the stun, the shock stun that you were getting from those lightning bolts was also a really big help to help me put down those Xmas once things got really hectic. And towards the end of the 40 minutes things did get really hard to survive. I didn't have the survivability that I would have had with the ice setup, and I found myself having to cheese it to the exit as fast as possible. Now at the minute I've got 3 different setups on my Chroma. I've got the ice, electric and the fire. I tend to ignore the toxin because I don't really find it very useful having unlimited stamina. But let me know what way you guys run your Chroma, and I will have the fire setup video up probably in the next week or 2 if I can pull myself away from Grand Theft Auto 5 PC online long enough to make another video. So hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling.
Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. 745, white on white, that's Rick Ross. I cut them wide, I cut them long, I cut them fat. I keep them coming back, we keep them coming back. I'm in the distribution, I'm like Atlantic. I got them pretty things flying across the Atlantic. I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors. I ain't petty player, we buy the whole thing. See, most of I'm on the pedal, show you what I'm running like. When they snatch black, I cry.